Hi everyone, welcome to the TAB Sport Rugby Update. Week 8 of Super Rugby we find ourselves in now. But as usual, we'll look back before we look forward, and we're going back to Friday night in Invercargill where we saw stunning weather, a stunning ground. It was a carpet, the grass down there. It lent itself to running rugby, and what a 2 minutes of rugby the Highlanders and Jason Rutledge in particular had. The first try he scored was off, I thought, a great off-balance left foot chip kick from Jimmy Cowan, gathered up by Jason Rutledge and charging over in the corner. That set the crowd alight. They were right into it. They didn't have a chance to get their breath back though, because Jason Rutledge was on the end of another amazing movement by the Highlanders, swept down the right-hand side. I want to know, how did Chris King gather that ball in after he got there in the first place, and then offloaded beautifully to Jason Rutledge again, dotting down for try number 2, and that basically set up the win for the Highlanders, and they are on their winning way again after a couple of losses in a bye. Jamie Joseph rallied the troops. Well done to them, doing the New Zealand teams proud. The other game we're going to have a look back at is the Blues against the Cheetahs. Now, we had a line on this game of 22.5, so we thought the Blues would be about 23 points better. The 13 and over was backed heavily in the winning team and margin, and so the Cheetahs, you did us proud, you fought back, you couldn't stop some good tries. This one to Isaiah Toiava, we thought it wasn't going to be a try when he bobbled it over the line, managed to regather and touchdown though. They got some good tries, the Blues, and some really good patches. I thought complacency might have snuck into their game, but good on them. They've won a close game, which is something they've struggled to do in past seasons. So good win to the Blues there. A very nice win to the Highlanders last week as well. Looking into the black book now, and we have a very special bet to tell you about. I'll tell you about it last. First of all, $6,000 on the Waratahs to beat the Chiefs at $1.22. I thought the Chiefs were the best underdog bet, but they couldn't get up in Sydney. I thought they played quite well at times, but the 6,000 at the 122, that paid that customer out. We had $13,000, here's an interesting number, $13,790 on the Highlanders at $1.42. That came up goods as well. But the bet of the week, a $5 multi-bet on every team, winning team and margin, got them all right, returned $53,000. So a $50,000 return, just over that for a $5 investment by getting all 7 games, winning team and margin correct. You've got to applaud that guy. So to week 8 of the competition, and we're going to start looking at the main game for Friday night, and that is the Highlanders against the Cheetahs. We've already talked about the Highlanders' great game last week against the Brumbies, and the Cheetahs' pretty good performance against the Blues. I think the Cheetahs are starting to come into a bit of form. They had that great win a couple of weeks ago against the Waratahs, were humbled by the Reds, and then they've played pretty well against the Blues. Their halfback, Pretorius, was a shining light for them last week. Scored a couple of very nice tries, including this one where he didn't give up, you know. This was towards the end of the game, and he caught the Blues team napping. Don't take your eyes off the Cheetahs Highlanders, or you could be made to pay. Timaru will be welcoming the Crusaders to host the Bulls. The Bulls coming off a very nice win in Hawke's Bay against the Hurricanes. The Crusaders, well, their last win was in Twickenham. They've had a week off, well rested, regathered their thoughts, and they will assemble in Timaru, which is a Crusader franchise hometown, for an amazing game. This will be an amazing game. The Bulls defending champions, the Crusaders the favourites. You could almost say it's the best 2 teams, or the top of the table teams in recent history. Now the Bulls last week scored some good tries. Francois Hougaard here off a very good break by Fainard Alifier. How's my South African pronunciation? Pretty good, I reckon. Very good try to Hougaard, but I think that the key to that game was Morné Stein's control, especially in the first half. He broke the hearts of the Hurricanes with a couple of drop goals. He just doesn't seem to miss penalty goals either. It's going to be a big battle, but as always, every week I say the Crusaders will win, and I still think they'll win 13 and over. The rest, back home, sort of, it's going to be too much for the Bulls. The last game we'll look at this week is the Stormers hosting the Reds. Stormers find themselves on top of the table, unbeaten, phenomenal record really in such an even competition. Hosting the Reds, who are going under the radar of a lot of people really, playing some nice rugby, had a win in Africa last week, and they look like they've got their lateral game going. I think with Will Guinea, Quade Cooper, seen here scoring a try, he's got such good vision, and if he just gets that little bit of time that he needs, he can spot the holes in the defence, charge through like this, and get a very good try. On the other hand, the Stormers, their attack is starting to come together as well. Their defence, there's no doubt that that's top quality, but with Jacques Ferry settling into the midfield now, he creates space for both himself and supporting players, and you don't get a better supporting player than Skulkberger diving over here for one of their tries last week. In fact, it was the only try in the game. That's the only area I'm worried about the Stormers, their inability to score tries. But if they can hold the Reds, they should be too good at home. But this could well be an upset. We've seen the Reds upset before. My bet of the week this week, I'm going to say the Highlanders will carry on their winning way. Against a lot of people's predictions, they think the Cheetahs are strong, but I don't think they'll be strong enough. Highlanders, and I'm even going to say in a boil over, 13 and over.